book tour that saw Hillary Clinton butting heads with journalists and making some notable verbal gaffes. Are the media actually suffering from Hillary fatigue? A piece in The Nation reads, quote, all of the mainstream media's endless, repetitive, obsessive speculation about Hillary, or really about anyone or anything that stimulates their mass fantasy, is little more than getting themselves excited in the easiest way possible, without actual reporting, excited enough to fill the required 24 hours of news and to do it all again the next day. Let's talk about it with our media panel today. Judith Miller is a Pulitzer Prize-winning reporter. Tammy Bruce is a radio host. Both are Fox News contributors. It's really centered around the idea of Hillary fatigue. Chuck Todd, the political expert over at MSNBC, said Hillary fatigue is a real danger out there, and she's got to watch it. She's going to overexpose herself in the media. What do you think about the premise, Judy?
Well, Bill Maher told her, just go away, joining the kind of meme. But I really disagree. Just when you think that Hillary fatigue is setting in, along comes the Supreme Court with 3 decisions affecting a woman's right to choose contraception and abortion that really motivate and energize the base of the Democratic Party and liberal women all over the country. And one of the decisions even outraged the 3 women on the Supreme Court. That was the decision yesterday. And so these are decisions that remind women how important it might be to a woman's right to control her own body to have a woman in the White House.
But Tammy, you know, if there are complaints about Hillary fatigue, I mean, she also has the highest name recognition of any Democratic candidate or potential candidate. And also, I mean, very, very high approval ratings right now. Don't they go hand in hand?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, I think our big concern is whether or not Hillary herself is fatigued. I mean, she does not look well, and that's been part of the conversation also over the last several weeks. I think this is about keeping interest up. And frankly, when we talk about a woman who might be interesting to Democrats, what about a Biden, Dr. Jill Biden? You know, I always see these men being mentioned about the possible candidates. It's always the wife who ends up being the more interesting person. So, you know, I mean, these are issues that the Democrats, they seem to have as many problems as the Republicans do. Who else is out there? And they don't seem to have the creative mindset to want to think about alternatives. I don't think people want to listen to Hillary Clinton about, and all due respect to Ms. Miller, about the condition of women's lives, when I think Monica Lewinsky might disagree that the Clintons are good at all for the condition of women's lives.
Judy, how sad would it be for the poor vice president if, you know, if the nominating folks at the convention were to choose his wife? Come on.
Look, I think that if Hillary doesn't run, Joe Biden himself, with his wife at his side, is likely to be a logical alternative, because Iraq is now conspiring in Joe Biden's favor. In 2006, he did a memorable op-ed with Les Gelb of the Council on Foreign Relations, saying that the only way to assure stability in Iraq would be to give each of the 3 regions of that country significant autonomy. Some people misread this as endorsing the breakup of Iraq, but it wasn't. He has studied this. He knows it. He's widely, highly respected by a lot of foreign policy people. So I wouldn't rule him out, even though I think if Hillary wants it, it's hers, given the money, the book, the tour.
Tammy, you know,
I was just saying, on this 4th of July, we should keep Uncle Joe locked in the attic, but that's just my opinion.
One of the points, though, that this piece in The Nation makes is that, you know, the Clintons have been on the public stage for a quarter century now, and many of the reporters who are covering them have been covering them for that long, and they're just, you know, there's nothing new. They know everything about Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Chelsea Clinton, and they're looking for something new. Would you agree with that premise, and is that fair?
Well, no, not with the amount of coverage she's gotten. Obviously, they're not looking for something new. I mean, it's a familiar subject. They do know all about it. There is a little bit of conspiring that goes on there. It's easy. It's almost a habit. I mean, the real question is, as I've mentioned, what about taking a stretch out, being really interested in something else that's new? And you know, when we speak about Iraq with Joe Biden, there is plenty to write about. The most recent news of Joe Biden is that he was on the phone with John Kerry talking to the Iraqi leaders to keep the country from breaking up. And we can see how well that's been going. I mean, not well at all.
Obviously, well, whoever inhabits the Oval Office next is going to have a handful of things to deal with. Tammy Bruce, Judy Miller, thank you both. And happy 4th.